What's up, Dick the Pally fans? Coming at you with another video today. So this is probably going to be one that people aren't going to like me for, but I mean, that's why the name of the show is Everybody Hates Luke, right? So we're just grinding away some RuneScape. That's why we got a little something going on the side. I'm just working on getting this dude. We got to get 75 range, or I'm sorry, 77 range, and then 77 magic, and then I'm going to use all those pest points from getting those levels at pest control. Hopefully hit 80, 78, 79 hit points. We'll see. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was this guy right here, James Damore, and the gender wage gap and all this other stuff. So this guy, James Damore, wrote a memo that circulated around Google talking about how there is a echo chamber in Google which promotes the hiring of, like, not unqualified people, but just people that probably shouldn't be doing the job that they're doing. You know, not saying they're unqualified, he's really just saying that there's a different skill set, and these skill sets can come from possible just a million different factors. Oh, God, a million different factors. But one of the ones he was talking about was just, gender wage gap, women, men, things like that. So I want to give my opinion on this. And again, you're probably not going to like it. And I'm going to start it off with saying probably the most ignorant thing in the universe. And this is probably the only reason I say it the most ignorant thing in the universe, because I'm crazy ignorant, and I know there's a lot of crazy ignorant people out there, and this is a conversation that I've had with many of my friends. So my big thing is like, all right, if there's a gender wage gap and women get paid less than men, why isn't every job in the planet done by a female? Or because why would you want to pay people more? Like, why would you want to waste money? It's like if everybody is equal and the quality of work that they do is equal and there's no differences whatsoever, then how come women aren't if there is that discrepancy, how come women aren't hired for all these jobs? And one of the things that he proposes in this is just that physiologically, over years and years of evolution and different years of just like from working in the 1770s to now, all the jobs that women had compared to men. This podcast, Joe Rogan likes to talk about hunter and gatherer mentalities and stuff, and how men would go out and do the hunting and women would stay and care for the children and do all the processing and stuff. So he takes a big, he doesn't advocate it, but he definitely has opinions on, the evolutionary impact, or the impact of, evolution in this, gender wage, conversation. And this Google guy did a very similar, said some similar stuff. He's just physiologically, women are just better at more empathetic things. That's just what they are. They're just better at it, And it's funny how it's funny how the same people I talk to about this say that women are better doctors than men. And it's like, women doctors might not get paid as much as men. We have to look that up. But they are better doctors. And the reason they're better doctors, or the main reason they're better doctors that's given, is that they're empathetic, they have better bedside manner, they are just overall more suited to be doctors, as opposed to men who can be more arrogant, more aggressive, stubborn, less willing to, negotiate or, do things. There's a lot of reasons, but most of them deal with the gender aspect of it. There are, feminine men, and there are empathetic men, it's not saying they're not, possible, but, there are less of them than there are empathetic women. And it's really weird hearing these people talk about the gender wage gap and all this other stuff and talk about, these conditions and all this other bullshit when they just hypocritically talk about women doctors, using the same arguments. And it's like, well, you can't pick and choose, what you like, what you don't like. You gotta pick a side and stick with it. And that's one of the things we're working on, is picking a side and working with it. And, not everybody likes that, which is why, everybody hates Luke, but that's just, what my things are. So if you want to take a look, all you have to do is Google the Google memo, Google's ideological echo chamber, how our bias clouds are thinking about diversity and inclusion. You just have to, Google it. It's on Reddit. You can type in this exact title, and then type in Reddit, and it should be one of the first few links. If you want to read it, I suggest you do. It's pretty interesting. And he puts forth an effort, or he puts forth an argument that's not aggressive or calling out or like anything like that. He puts together a very organized, very partisan. He maybe uses like too derogatory terms towards women, but I don't really think he necessarily chose them. I don't think that's his implication when he said it. Maybe one of the two, maybe. But it's worth a read because it's not what these social justice warriors are making it out to be. He tried to make it as, as not guy as he could. He tried to make it, he said, look, I'm a guy. I get it. I'm a guy writing about the gender wage gap. But this is just the facts. These are just what I'm going with. This isn't me taking shots at women. But they took that as just like, oh, how can you do this? All this other shit, blah, 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 blah. And, one thing that's brought up a lot, and I'll say it again, it's hilarious how, all the women were like, this memo is so mean. I can't believe he wrote a memo like this. How am I going to go to work? I'm so compromised. And then they all took a day off after this. It's like, that just proves this dude's point. He just proves this fucking dude's point. All right. That's it. Take a read. Watch the podcast. We'll be back with more.